Hello, and today we're going to talk about a really exciting topic, which is democratizing the coaching and training in your league. Now, this is a really powerful tool, and it's kind of the opposite of how training is often done in roller derby, not just in roller derby, in all kinds of sports, but in roller derby too. And traditionally you'll find in roller derby quite a lot of top-down kind of coaching and training, in that you'll have a handful of people at the top who are kind of experienced, they have expertise, and they're telling people what to do and what the training is and so on. And that's great. If you've got dedicated coaches, that's wonderful. But it comes with some real problems as well, in that if any of those people disappear or they retire or they move on, if you haven't grown that leadership and that depth of knowledge into your team, then your league's going to be in real trouble when that happens. And secondly, growing leadership in your team has real value. And if you're not doing it intentionally, then it's not happening. And what's going to happen is that a few people will self-select themselves into leadership roles, or you'll get the occasional captaincy vote, but you're really not embedding a great deal of leadership. What we're going to do with this kind of democratic approach to training is we're going to embed a higher level of leadership and a higher level of understanding throughout your team. So we're going to have this expectation that players and skaters will have a really solid knowledge of how the coaching and training in your league is put together and how they can make a contribution to it. Okay, so to do this, we're going to look at a feature on Lesson Stack called collaborative stacks. Now, if I come over to my stacks, I've got this Monday bootcamp stack that's ready to go. And I happen to be a team manager because I've upgraded this account. So what that means is that I get access to some of these features like collaborative editing. Now, this is a Monday night bootcamp, so I'm going to set it to recur on Mondays. I'm going to share it with my test team, which is the Brawling Banshees, and I'm going to change this collaborative editing setting so it can be edited by me and my team members. So if I come to my teams now and I go to Brawling Banshees, here are all my activities, and if I go to stacks, you can see that on Monday night we do this bootcamp and it has this collection of activities in it. Now already we're making what we're doing transparent. So on this Brawling Banshees team space, I can invite everyone in the league. It doesn't cost any more to invite extra players. And everybody can already see this is what we do on Mondays, and they can go through the drills and see what they all are. Okay, so this is kind of step one. But this is where it gets really interesting. Anybody who is in the league can not only see what's in Monday Bootcamp, they can edit it too. Right? So say we've been talking on a league and we really need to work on some edge work, right? We've noticed that our plow stops are a little bit lackluster and we want to be able to turn harder on those edges. Well, it so happens I've got this triangle cones drill here that's pretty cool. Now, anybody in the league can go into the team space, see what the activities are, and they can just drag and drop this straight in there. And that's now added to Monday's bootcamp. Now, let's say they've made the decision, this triangle cones drill is really important. We really need to sharpen up our edges. And we're going to lose this pivots choice because that's the activity we can kind of have in place of our edge work. So now anybody on your team can make these little adjustments to the stack as you go. So we're expecting that people will have this kind of much wider understanding of what you train and how you train it. Now, because I'm a good team member, I'm going to come over to the chat area and I'm just going to let everyone know what I've done. So I'm going to put, hi guys, just added some edge work to Monday's bootcamp. Perfect. So at this point, I'm a player that has enough knowledge to understand the drills that our league has and how to add and remove them to the league's coaching and training sessions. So at this point, you can really see the power that a collaborative lesson stack has in growing the understanding throughout your team. Now, in the top-down approach, the only real kind of leadership that is embedded in the process is that skaters will kind of do what they're told when they're instructed, either by a coach or whoever's leading the session that day. in this democratized training approach, there are 6 levels of leadership that skater's going to learn by just being a part of this process, right? So at level 1 is a skater who can participate in a drill when they're instructed to do so, right? So this is level 1 is basically if you rock up on newbie day and you're told to do something, that's where you're at. And that's great. At level 2, you'll be familiar with the drills that your league has, and you'll be able to perform them autonomously, right? So after you've been a newbie for a little while, after you've seen that lesson stack is a thing, and you've participated in a few drills, you're going to know what drill is what. And if somebody says to you, hey, we're doing French walls today, go do it, you'll understand, okay, I know what that drill is. I've done it before. I've seen it on lesson stack. I can do that, and I can get on with that. At level 3, the skater will be familiar with a range of drills, and they'll also be able to tell other people how to do them. Now at this stage, I don't necessarily mean they're going to be coaching other people, although they're going to be doing that a little bit. What I mean is, like, say you have this drill called French walls, and the coach has said, okay, you 10 over there, go do that for the next 10 minutes. A skater at level 3 will be able to tell everyone in the group, okay, French walls is when we have 4 blockers in the middle and a queue of jammers either side, and they take turns going through. So at level 3, you've got people in your league who understand what the drills are, and they can tell everybody else how to complete them. At level 4, the skater knows all the drills, they can tell other people how to do them, and they can begin to suggest improvements, right? So let's say they're doing French walls and they notice that if you have too many jammers, then people are standing around for too long when they could be doing more work. So they say, hey, let's add an offense player, so we've got an extra jammer, so we've got an extra blocker in the wall, and then we'll have this kind of faster pace moving with the jammers coming through. And that little tweak is just going to slightly improve that drill, and over time that feedback loop is going to pay you some real dividends, right? At level 5, the skater is going to be at a level where they can suggest improvements to existing drills, but they're also going to be able to plan and deliver complete session plans, right? And this is embedded. This is the natural flow of using this process, is that we expect skaters to progress over time from being a fresh rookie to someone who can deliver a complete session plan, right? And the final stage is stage 6. And at stage 6, the skater is familiar enough that they know everything that the league does. They understand your league's body of work, that is the library that you train to. And at level 6, they have a level of mastery whereby they're able to create and deliver new drills and skills, right? They can understand that there are problems that need to be solved, and they can, off their own bat, create the activities that are needed to solve those problems and add them to the stack, right? So this is a whole different paradigm in training, and it's a whole different expectation to put on your skaters, but it's made easy by lesson stack. Okay, so if you imagine if all of these activities and all of this process is just visible to your league, and you're able to have a shared vocabulary where you can say, right, on Monday it's boot camp, we do offense, we do edge work, we do scrimmage, right? And these are the drills that we're working to. By simply having that shared space, you're already embedding this process of training leaders in your team. But that's not to say that those people will play the role of coach, right? So they will coach, and in leagues where you don't have a dedicated coach, this system will really fill that gap, and you can do things like take turns in coaching and share that knowledge. But where you have a coach, what this means now is that coach now has a process and a method for coaching leadership, right? And that's really important. Like, as a coach, I really don't think a good coach is a person who coaches obedience. A good coach is someone who coaches leadership. And this platform just makes it so much easier because you have that shared library and that shared space in which to coach that. Okay, I hope you've enjoyed that. I think that this whole kind of approach of democratic training and coaching is really exciting, and I think it could be a real paradigm shift in how we bring expertise into the roller derby community. If you've enjoyed that, hopefully I will see you on the next video. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you next time.